welcome to Used Bike Heaven. I'm Fran Robinson and this is the show that takes the worrying out of finding the right used bike for you. Each week we give one lucky viewer the chance to test ride 3 bikes that fit their lifestyle, needs and most of all their pocket. For this week's show we've tracked down a bevy of naked bikes with a hint of sportiness and a bit of muscle in them for our lucky viewer. So she'll be like a kid in a toy shop when she sees what we've got in store for her. So let me introduce her. Karen Moore is a civil servant from Stafford. She passed a bike test when she was 19 years old and has recently returned to biking. Her current bike is a Ducati Monster and today Karen wants to try something a bit faster and a bit more aggressive. Let's hope she likes our selection. So to help Karen choose the right bike, our top techie Dr. Rod will be here to give her advice.
Well, Karen's got 3 very interesting bikes to look at in today's show. Later on, I'm going to be back to talk about the pitfalls and potential problems with the bikes that she's looking at, so I'll see you in part 2.
And at the end of the show, once Karen has chosen her favourite of our 3 suggestions, she'll be going into the dealer's showroom to talk turkey. To help her out, our panel of undercover experts will be on hand to give her top tips on negotiating the best deal.
That's right, Fran, because all these bike dealers, they're all your best mate, but they're in it to make money, and it's all a big business, and they'll squeeze as much out of you as they possibly can.
And that's why we will be listening and watching, suggesting what sort of questions to ask and making sure that Karen doesn't get ripped off. We are watching you.
So Karen's looking for a sporty number for around £7,000. Well, with this budget, you're making our lives very easy. All the bikes are 6 months old, so they're as good as new, and they all have around 1,000 miles on the clock. So they're all running and waiting to give you the ride of your life. First up, it's the Aprilia Tuono. Aprilia took the Millie, stripped off the fairing, and as a result, Tuono was born. Comfort on this bike has improved over the standard Millie as a result of the addition of flat bars, giving the bike a more upright riding position. It holds a 1000cc V-twin engine which makes it full of character. Next up, it's Honda's CB1300, a boisterous and ballsy machine which will give you the full naked retro experience. It's the cheapest of our 3 bikes this week, but that doesn't mean it's the weakest by any means. Last but not least, it's the bike which Kawasaki describe as cheeky and naughty, the Z1000. It's a loud, shouting, aggressive beast and it goes as well as it looks. It's a Street Fighter's bike, but whether anyone who's into Street Fighters would buy one and keep it to the standard is questionable. So that's the selection this week. First off is the Aprilia Tuono. Hi Karen.
Hi Fran.
How are you doing?
I'm very well.
Good, good. So we're going to set you off on this in a minute. What do you think of the looks though?
It looks absolutely super. I'm really impressed with it. It looks great.
What do you like about it then?
I love the colour.
Yeah.
And I like the combination of colours that they've used as well. It makes it looks really standing out.
It does, doesn't it? So now, does this feel very different to your Ducati?
Oh, it does. Yeah, it's much taller. The seat height is much higher.
Yeah.
So I mean, at the moment, my feet aren't quite flat on the floor, which I'm used to. I'm not sure if I'll feel comfortable about that.
Yeah,
but we'll see
when you get back. So what do you think of the front bit?
Right. Well, I mean, it's totally different from what I'm used to. So one thing I have noticed though is the clocks are much further away.
Yeah, they seem quite low down. Don't they?
It might be quite hard to see. We'll see.
We'll have to see. Well, you get yourself going.
Okay.
Enjoy yourself.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds very good.
Sounds great.
Brilliant. Have a good time.
Okay. My first impression is what an exciting bike. It's fast, aggressive, impressive. You're sitting on top of the bike and you're getting into the corners, you're enjoying the ride, the power of the engine, the sound of the engine, absolutely superb. The brakes are phenomenally sharp. Watch out for that back end, it's really skittish. Cornering, great. The tyres seem to be sticking absolutely superbly. Powering out of the corners, lovely. A really nice ride, ever so enjoyable.
Pretty good?
Very exciting, Fran, yeah.
Fantastic.
Great.
So did you have a problem with your feet? Because I know before you said that you felt a bit tippy-toed.
You don't notice it. As soon as you're on the bike, it's absolutely great. The riding position's absolutely superb.
Is
really
it?
Comfortable, yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. And what did you think of this? Because I know you were thinking a bit low down.
It is a bit low down. Luckily, the display is quite big, so it wasn't a problem.
Did you ever see yourself as owning something like an RSV?
It isn't something that I've considered really in the past, but in some respects I'm quite tempted. The bike is exciting and it's really quite quick as well.
Right, it's right on your budget as well. I mean, it's 7,000 this one.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, so, and we like the looks, don't we?
We
then?
do like the looks.
Yeah.
I'd probably like to try the other bikes before I made a decision.
Well, of course, and we're going to let you do that, absolutely. So anything else that you can think of that, I mean, what's it like in comparison to your own bike?
Oh gosh, it's like my bike's big brother. It's big and it's exciting and it's quick. Beware though, the back end is slightly skittish.
Is it?
Yes.
Right, well now, to help you make your decision on finding the right bike, we're going to give it a marks out of 10 in different categories.
Okay.
So Karen, we need to know what you think.
Okay. First of all, style-wise, I've got to give it 9 out of 10. It's a stunning bike. The paintwork is superb, it's impressive, and the handlebars and the attention to detail, absolutely superb. Performance, I'd like to give that 8 out of 10. Ride, 7 out of 10. I'm not perfectly comfortable. I'm not totally relaxed in this seat. Build quality, 7 out of 10. It's an Italian bike and we all know what that means. Practicality, 5 out of 10. This is probably not the most practical bike I've ever ridden. Reliability, I'm going to give that 5 out of 10. Price, again 5 out of 10. This is very expensive. Yes, it's a nice bike, but am I really getting value for money? I don't think so.
So that was the Aprilia Tuono. Now, I think we liked that, didn't we, Karen?
We certainly did.
But I think after those marks, we can actually improve on it.
Well, we'll see.
So we're going to put you on the Honda, the CB1300. Hop on. So, I mean, we're going to get your thoughts on the ride of it. But what do you think of the looks of it?
First impressions are this is so different from the bike that I've just got off. It's very traditional. The colour seems not very exciting.
Yeah.
But
bit retro, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think, to be honest, this colour scheme, we've seen it before, obviously.
Yes.
So it's, you know, there's nothing new there, but it's a Honda.
Right.
So you've got the quality.
Absolutely, yes. Yes.
So your dials are all in the right place.
Thank goodness,
Yes,
yes.
absolutely. Now it looks the same height as a Tuono.
In actual fact, as I've just sat on it, it feels so much more comfortable.
Yeah.
Straight away, I've sat straight into the seats. Possibly the ride's going to be even more comfortable.
Oh, we'll have to see. Fantastic. So we need you to go off and have a go.
Okay, thank
Marvellous.
you. Just getting onto the CB1300, settling down, starting the engine, makes an instant impression on you. The power, the sound of the engine is absolutely stunning. Pulling off, you can pull off with confidence. It feels so comfortable and so eager to get going. Riding the CB1300 around town was a fantastic experience. I was expecting it to be heavy, lumpy and slow around the corners and at junctions, but it was absolutely superb. The engine of the CB1300 feels lively and responsive. It's ready to do what you want it to do. It's there to glide you around corners and open out onto the straight.
Well, I must say, you look very happy on this bike, Karen.
What a great bike to ride!
Why is it?
It's just absolutely fantastic. It's so well mannered. It's a really comfortable riding position, something I was slightly concerned about, but I've got straight into it straight away.
Fantastic.
The power delivery is superb, but so well behaved.
Well, this is the only 1300, obviously, the other two are 1000.
Right.
So do you feel, I mean, I know you've not been on the Kawasaki, but do you feel a big difference in power then from the Aprilia?
The delivery is totally different, I think probably because it's a four-cylinder configuration compared to the V-twin. But it's just so well behaved. Such good manners.
It's very civilised.
Very.
Okay, well, I mean, did it feel heavy?
It does feel heavy, but it feels heavy in, it's not too intimidating.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it at all. I feel it's part of the bike and part of the experience of riding this bike.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because they put the SP2 wheels on it to help the handling be lighter and the general weight.
The handling is absolutely fine, yes.
Good.
Yes,
I'm
I
pleased
didn't
about
have any
that.
problems.
Well, that's fantastic, Karen. Now all we need to do is go over to the scores and see what points you've given it.
Style-wise, 7 out of 10. This is not the sexiest looking bike in the showroom. Performance-wise, I'm going to go for 8 out of 10. This isn't the fastest bike I've ridden today, but it seems reliable and I have confidence in the engine. For the ride, I'm going to go for 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed riding this bike. Build, I'm going to go for 8 out of 10. This is a Honda. We have high expectations of their build quality. Practicality, 9 out of 10. This is a practical bike to ride. It is comfortable. It's going to carry my luggage and it's going to take me around Europe. Reliability, 9 out of 10. This is a Honda and I expect it to be very reliable. Price, let's go for 10 out of 10. Superb value.
That's it for part one. Join us after the break when we see how the Kawasaki Z1000 shapes up against the Aprilia Tuono and the Honda 1300. See you in 2. Welcome back to Used Bike Heaven. This week, Karen from Stafford, who currently owns a Ducati Monster, is looking for something a bit faster and a bit more aggressive. She's already been out on the Aprilia Tuono and the Honda CB1300 and is about to go on her third and final test on the Kawasaki Z1000. Karen,
hi.
What do you think to this?
It looks absolutely great. Really aggressive styling, really quite sexy as well. I'd have to say, looks-wise, of the three, this is my favourite.
It's my personal favourite, this one. But I like a black bike as well, so I just think they look mean. Well, we need to know what you think to the ride.
OK.
The ride standard is just fine. It was kind of almost forgettable, really. The brakes are sharp, the engine is responsive. I found the gearbox to be slightly clunky. You've got to be very positive when you're changing gear here. On the straight, the Z1000 is absolutely superb. Put your head down, crank it on and just get going. I think after a while I'll start to feel a little bit tired across the shoulders here. My weight is over the tank and this could become uncomfortable over time.
So Karen, third and final test. Last but by no means least, the Kawasaki. What do you think?
Very nice, very nice. The bike to ride is really quite, like its styling, is quite aggressive. Yeah, you've got to have your wits about you. You've got to be positive with the gear change. The gearbox I found was slightly notchy.
Hit neutral between first and second especially.
I did.
I know where you're coming from. Yeah, I mean, it's a nice retro style though, isn't it?
It's a lovely style. The colour combinations, the addition of colour, the upside down forks, the seating position is absolutely super.
Well, they're actually all a mishmash of the ZX6R and the ZX9R.
Indeed, yes.
So it's working well, obviously.
Yes,
yeah.
We've got lots of things here that work well together already established.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, it's a lot lower than the other two.
I did notice that, yes. Yeah. My seating position at traffic lights and junctions, I feel much more confident than the other two bikes. It's really nice to sit on. You feel nice and safe.
Fantastic. Well, it's available in a few different colours. It's available in orange, green and black.
Oh.
So you've got a fair bit to go at.
Absolutely, some choice.
Absolutely. So we need to know your points for this one.
Right, OK.
Should we go to the scoreboard?
Let's.
Style-wise, 9 out of 10. What a beautiful bike. The retro exhaust pipes really set the style off here. Performance, I'm going to go for an 8 there. This is a good bike, but it's not very exciting. Ride, I'm going to go for 7 out of 10. I'm starting to feel uncomfortable after a while. My shoulders were starting to ache. Build quality, going to go for 8 on this one, 8 out of 10. Practicality, for my purposes, which is touring, I don't think this bike is going to be very practical at all. 7 out of 10. Reliability, 9 out of 10. Price-wise, 8 out of 10. This is good value for money.
So overall on the scoreboard, the CB1300 wins, but before Karen makes her final decision, here's our Rod with a recap of each bike and the pros and cons of used bike ownership.
The new CB1300 has been selling like hotcakes since its launch last May and combines all the style and muscle of a naked Big Jack 4 with Honda standards of engineering and reliability. The engine started life as a 1000cc back in '93, which means it's well proven and has plenty of grunt. The only known problem was a little vibration at around 3000 RPM. The CB1300 should be bulletproof reliable. Servicing on any naked retro should be fairly straightforward. The lack of a fairing means your local mechanic won't have to spend hours removing dozens of tiny screws and taking plastic fairing panels off to get at the gubbins underneath. In fact, the most grease you're likely to get under your fingernails with the CB1300 is from changing the oil and filter, which is recommended once every 4,000 miles. But with any bike of this weight and power, you must be prepared to see rapidly vanishing tyres and brake pads if you ride the bike in the manner that God intended. Expect back tyres to be down to canvas within 3,000 miles if you hammer the throttle, and do be prepared for three-figure prices for replacements. In fact, the most grief that you're likely to get with this big Honda is a hammering that it's going to give your wallet. Kawasaki's new Z1000 is also making a big impression in the showrooms. Its ZX-9R based engine sitting in the slinkiest retro chassis yet to come from Japan. Kawasaki's design brief was to produce a stylish and powerful bike that would set new standards for unfaired sports bikes, and they've succeeded brilliantly, though the sporty Z1000 may not be a first choice for serious touring. The lack of a nose fairing and a little touch of vibration ranks a Z1000 definitely towards the sporting end of the sports touring market. The Tuono comes from another world to the two Japanese foes, and if you're looking to make a style statement, then this is the bike for you. A thoroughly uncompromising Italian V-twin in the best tradition, its combination of sharp handling and big thundering power makes this bike much more at home on the track than rumbling down the autobahn. After all, this is a world superbike with the fairing taken off, and it feels like one. But do be aware of all the carbon fibre. If you do take a spill, that's going to be rather expensive to replace.
So Karen, has Rod's advice swayed your decision? Put us out of our misery, what's it going to be?
Fran, it's going to have to be the CB1300.
Right, okay, but why?
I really didn't want to choose it. I love the look of the Tuono. The Z1000 is absolutely gorgeous, but the CB1300 fully meets my requirements. I need a touring bike. I've already got a good, fun street bike, and the CB1300 has got to be the one for me.
You're being very sensible.
Afraid so.
Well, you better get yourself inside and do the deal, and don't forget our experts are on hand to give you any pointers should you need them.
Okay, that's great. Thanks, Fran.
Okay. Isn't that right, boys?
Yes, we are.
The big Honda then she's chosen.
Blimey.
It's a big lump, that, isn't it?
That is a large motorcycle. Not ideal for touring, I wouldn't have thought.
Well, not without some luggage and certainly a screen.
Throw panniers, tank bag, that sort of
minimum
thing.
Requirements.
She might be able to squeeze it out of them.
I think in the deal, get a little screen thrown in.
What else do we think she should be asking them?
She might want to mention finance, warranty certainly.
Yeah.
She wants to know, any extras. We know it's got an alarm system on it anyway.
Exactly. Don't worry, Fran, we're on the case.
Hello, I'm Karen Moore, very pleased to meet you.
Hi Karen, I'm Darren.
Very formal, that, wasn't it?
Very formal, very assertive, isn't she?
Yeah, confident.
Yeah.
And the bike that I've found meets my purpose today is the CB1300, the Honda. Thoroughly enjoyed riding it, but I'd like to ask you some questions about it before I make my final decision.
Right, no problem.
I noticed the bike isn't brand new, but would it come with any warranty?
Yeah, the bike is our ex-demonstrator.
Oh, I don't know if I would buy an ex-demo bike.
Well, everyone that's ever wanted to have a thrash on it has done it. 1,500
miles, but hard miles.
Darren, any idea what insurance group I'd be looking at there?
I believe it's approximately 13, 14, depending on which insurance company you go to.
Right, OK, so I'd need to check with my insurance company as well, double check at the same time. Right.
She could have asked about a deal on the insurance there or something. It is virtually a brand new bike, isn't it?
It is nearly.
It's only ever been owned by the shop. It's only done 1,500 miles, it's 6 months old.
Okay, has it got any extras on it?
It has a Data Tool System 3 alarm fitted, which is Thatcham 1 across the board. Basically, it's about top of the range at the moment.
Right, OK, so my insurance company will be pleased to hear about that then.
Yes, they will.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
that's good.
That's what you need to know, isn't it?
Well, that'll save her a few pounds on insurance, won't it? Yeah.
But it's got to be an approved one. It's
yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Mickey Mouse alarm system.
Do you offer any sort of finance deals at the moment? It's not a brand new bike, so possibly the company themselves, yourselves?
Yeah. There's nothing manufacturer backed at the moment, but we can usually tailor a package to your needs. If you're working to a particular budget or time scale, then we can usually tailor around that.
Right, OK.
You need to find out how much your bank are going to charge you first, don't you?
It's a lot cheaper to go to your bank, generally speaking, isn't it? And then go there and say, I can afford this much a month, what can you do for me, and can you beat it?
Darren, because I want to start touring and going over some
Okay.
distance, is the CB1300, will I have any problems getting luggage for it?
No, I think Givy won't be far behind. Being a new model, Givy won't be too far behind on producing some kind of soft luggage and racking system for it.
Right.
And I dare say Honda will be doing the same as well.
Oh, he thinks. He should be sure, really, shouldn't he?
He should know, yeah.
Because he could sell it and then he could say, oh, I was wrong. There's no luggage available for it at all.
Well, he certainly
and
get
it's
some
completely
throws.
useless.
Some sort of universal rack will go on it, won't it?
She should have said,
Tank
Darren,
bag. Throw me in a tank bag at least. Yeah.
some throw over panniers, a screen. She needs a screen.
Darren, thank you so much for your help and advice today. I'll
No
take
problem.
that away with me before I make my final decision. Okay, thank you.
Well, she did okay. She's quite assertive, but she should have gone armed already. She should have been armed with all the finance figures. She should have known all about that. She should have said, I can get this from my bank, that from my bank. Can you beat it?
You've got to bang the table a bit in there. A bit too polite and civil. That's the bit where you get a free screen,
That's
a
right.
lock, a free lock.
Yeah.
You know, she didn't really get anything out of him. She should have been looking for extra warranty,
That's right.
a screen, maybe a bit of luggage. You know, it was like top price, really, for me. Ex-demo as well, so that
ex-demo.
rings a few bells, doesn't it?
She's not got it down a penny, has she?
No.
He says it's this much and she's gone fine.
It was far too polite. She should have been a little bit more, come on, you've got to sell this bike to
That's
me,
right,
and I want to get something back.
I agree, yeah.
Make me buy it. Why should I buy it?
Well, there you go. Let's see.
So how'd you get on then?
Right, okay. I've had a really great day. I've ridden some absolutely superb bikes, but most of all I've had some fantastic advice. So today I'm not going to make a decision. I'm going to go away and think about it and then come back before I make my final decision.
Fair dues. I mean, it's a huge market for tourers.
Yes.
Yeah. So looks like the CB1300 is staying here for the time being.
Okay.
Right, let's go get the bus.
Okay.
I mean, I thought I was going to get a baccy. I mean, I haven't got enough bus fare for starters.